Thank you very much. The gentleman yields back, and the chair now recognizes the gentleman from New Jersey, the ranking member of the full committee, for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the most alarming ways that the NRC's independence has been undermined, and I talked about this in my opening remarks, is the presence of staffers affiliated with DOGE and the Department of Energy who aren't responsible to anyone at the NRC. But unfortunately, Department of Energy has refused to answer any of our questions on this topic. So let me go to Ms. Greenwald. I thought you gave an excellent answer to Ranking Member Castor on the importance of separating NRC and DOE's roles. Could you talk about how full transparency from the Department of Energy on its role in the licensing process is important to public confidence in the licensing process?
Yes, we do think that transparency is one of the hallmarks of achieving public trust, and we would like to see more transparency about the role of DOE staffers at NRC. We also think actually on the issue around these DOE authorization of reactors, which is something that has happened for a long time, but hasn't happened in the past as often and with as great a pace and intensity as is happening now, is really important that DOE be more transparent than perhaps it has been used to historically. And we actually think DOE has a pretty good story to tell and that they should be transparent about it. For example, they're actually borrowing, and NRC is lending 12 staffers from NRC to help DOE with these reviews. And then they're doing it independently, and then it will come back when this reactor, if it becomes commercial and it goes to NRC for licensing, then the NRC will have institutional knowledge and also be able to make its independent decision about whether this design is ready for commercial application.
Oh, thank you. Now, you also mentioned in your written testimony that, and I quote, eroding public trust in agencies like NRC and DOE would set industry back, not spur it forward, end of quote. So again, would you talk about why it's so important that the public have confidence in both the NRC and DOE and how the survival of the nuclear industry depends entirely upon public confidence that the industry is safe?
Yeah, and I think this has been a long-standing situation for this industry and for the public, that there's this mutual benefit of having an independent regulator and a successful industry. The industry needs that seal of approval for it to have social license to operate and to have public support. It also really helps us in our role in the world to make sure that we can export technology, because the NRC seal of approval really helps companies to be able to have a trusted technology that they can sell abroad as well as at home.
All right, well, I think the point you're making is very important. So I just wanted to make sure everyone here agrees on the panel. Just a quick yes or no from each of our remaining witnesses. Do you think it's vital to the American nuclear industry that the general public thinks it's safe and has confidence in the government's nuclear safety regulators? And if you would just answer yes or no, I'll start with Ms. Karsnick.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And lastly, Dr. Wagner?
Yes.
All right, well, I think that's good to hear. I just hope that the White House and the Department of Energy are listening. I mean, the problem that I see is that, the Trump administration's actions undermine the independence of the NRC, and it's really alarming to me how much they've tried to do that and have succeeded in doing it. And I just want to reiterate again, if the Trump administration and the DOE do not stop undermining the independence of our safety regulator, nuclear, in the case of the NRC, there's no longer going to be bipartisan support. I mean, there are a lot of people out there in my district and elsewhere that just don't want nuclear energy, and I've been supportive of it, and we've been supportive of it as Democrats, mostly on a bipartisan basis. But all that is linked to safety. If anything happens that, that gives the impression or actually makes it so that people's lives are at risk or we have some kind of incident, that's going to be the end of it. I'll speak for myself. We won't be able to support it anymore. So, that's why this is so crucial. That's why I keep bringing it up. It's just crucial. And I just like the President Trump's administration just like willy-nilly seemed to think, oh, none of this matters and we'll do this or that, and lack of transparency. All this is very detrimental in my opinion, to the future of nuclear energy, which is so important as a clean energy source for, the mixture. So that's why I keep emphasizing it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.